All right. Hello, everyone. I hope you can see me in the corner. Ms. K is going to show you how to enter the NAACP contest. The first thing you need to know is you need a big old piece of paper. And I have my document camera, which is usually close to me, because this paper that I want you to come to the school to get is 12, at least 24, 25, 26 inches by 12 and 22. It's like 22 by 26. All right, so it has to be big. Okay, also today we will need a pencil and a ruler just to make sure you have your art big enough, because we have to read the directions. So let's go ahead and read the directions. All right, here is what a finished artwork looks like next to Mr. Lake. Mr. Lake has asked me to have you all participate. If you want to create your own, it is fine, but I will guide you so we can turn something in. This was what we'll be learning about. Our social issues artwork is our purpose, okay? So we're learning about purpose of art, and this is going to fall under social issues. Now, I asked a student and a teacher, when I say civil rights struggle, what do you imagine? The answer for both of them were riots and protests. Miss Rios said Ruby. All right, so I want to immerse you in a story about Ruby Bridges. If you already know about the whole story, then you've got it going on. That's what I'm going to focus on in my artwork. Here is a picture of Ruby with the children that she was in school with. And then to help you out, there is a famous artwork by Norman Rockwell, and it is has an artwork of Ruby. All right, it is important when researching the facts. In order to keep this quick, I want you to watch this video that I have in the PowerPoint. I also want you to remember to watch Ruby Bridges Remembers. They get to meet back together on Oprah, her teacher, and her Ruby. All right. And then it goes into the Ruby Bridges story with Martin Luther King. And then the teacher talks about how it felt in that position. And she is Barbara Henry, a civil rights crusader. She helped little Ruby. All right. So you're going to know the history and are knowledgeable about what happened. So you have these images in your head. I'm going to pretend I am entering the art contest in an effort to help you enter the Mr. Lake's Civil Struggles artwork. I ask you, do you want to create the art from a photograph and draw? If so, maybe you'll Google Ruby Bridges, and you'll find a picture that perhaps shows the people with the protesting around. And because civil rights struggle is not a pretty word, so we're not just going to make a pretty portrait of Ruby and be done. All right. Look at other ideas. Don't reinvent the wheel unless you have an idea. So I Googled protest Ruby Bridges, and here is the artwork by Norman Rockwell. And so we can see people have signs, and Ruby's going to tell you she wasn't even scared because, well, I'll leave that. You can listen to the little story. You could even Google I am Ruby Bridges. All right. So I am, as an artist now that I know the information, I want to put Ruby on, and maybe if you're not a good drawer, maybe you could use Paint 3D. No, you can't use Paint 3D because you have to put it on this big poster board. I'm sorry. So I will go ahead and drop this in this spot right here in the PowerPoint if you do decide, or maybe we decide to use this. All right. Not so much Ruby, although she does look like a little angel there. maybe she'll stand at the top of the steps, and then the other people will be coming down the steps, and and I'm thinking like an artist, all right? So I want you to think about the principles of art. If there needs to be words in the contest, write those neatly in pencils, make them block letters, then color them in with red orange marker. We saw that the winner that won last year, her art, this art right here, was with red letters, although it's really hard to see. It is red at the bottom. So Ms. K wants you to know wherever you want the people to read first, that is, and you want them to read the words. Like the people that are judging this artwork are putting the title out. Okay, so they want to pat themselves on the back knowing that you listen to them. So we are going to read the directions. I just want you to know in this PowerPoint, it helps you understand where to put Ruby. And so maybe we will put Ruby at the top middle because she is the most important. Composition, that's another artwork in creating a winning artwork. You are the puzzle maker, and the composition is the puzzle. Where do you decide to place things? All right. You want a balanced artwork. Now, if you need to know how to draw maybe small, just image of people in the background, you might be using that video. Understand that things that are close to us, like these shoes, are going to be big. And so I'm imagining a fist, not small like that guy, but maybe some fists up that are protesting where they're down on the ground and they're looking up because they are not happy with poor little Ruby, which I'm glad the world has changed. Then after you have those words, you're going to repeat repeated shapes that sort of point to Ruby. So your arms are going, that are probably, and you can imagine a fist. Let me just, so we all are clear. Fist, Ms. K can, fist, protest. I think like the fist, not necessarily the one of the big sculpture, but the one, and of course I'm not seeing it because I got Ruby in there too. I don't see any arms up in protest. All right, let me look. Because I want to be clear before you guys go take off and start doing this on your own and miss something. All right. So those are going to angle. Those fists are going to angle. Maybe you'll take this and you'll copy it and you'll paste it and you'll cut them out. All right. But they need to angle. Okay. They're going to angle towards Ruby. Now, let me go ahead and make another one, if it lets me. All right, and then I'm going to turn the other one the other way. All right, so we have balance there, right? And we have something close up. You want to win this contest with me? Listen to my directions. You want something close up. You want little Ruby up here, and she's coming down the stairs. The stairs will be easy to create a sense of space. All right, and then let's see. And the most important thing, friends, let's do it right now. Once you have the artwork, you are going to, now think about it, friends. You might mess up, right? So we're not going to write this huge, but I want you to put your first name at the bottom, nice and neat, and you can put it in the corner if you want. Your last name, all right, your grade, the school you are in, D, P, S, C, D. Don't forget that. Don't just say virtual school. They really loved Detroit. So you might win if you just got the right name on it. It's who you know. All right. And then you're going to put art teacher. Don't write Miss K. They don't know who that is. Jennifer Souter, S-O-U-T-R, Kolach. I know I got to change it in the system. All right. And then what is this for? All right. We're going to write together, if you're listening to my voice, civil rights struggle. Okay. And I want to stop right there because we need to figure out but this is the most important part. You're not going to win if you don't have your name on it, right? Okay. I also have some pencils. I also want you to know, get some construction paper out. Maybe you'll look at the artwork of Jacob Lawrence, and maybe you'll set up the artwork like Jacob. All right. Remember Jacob, we learned about him last month. If you are with me, if you are just listening to this, that is fine too. All right. And so we look at Jacob Lawrence's art. It looks like, some of this looks like paint, but look at this. It looks like somebody could have taken a piece of construction paper and added that leg. Okay. So to remind you to do this, I'm going to put a little picture of Jacob Lawrence. Please do not watch or try to draw that, because obviously that has nothing to do with Jacob, okay? But it's just how you might take a scissor, all right, and you might, I'm trying to think, maybe a fist, all right? So you could take and trace your own fist, right? It's supposed to be big. And trace your fist, okay? And then, to make sure it's the right way, and you can copy and paste, you can draw all of this, all right? But this just seems to be the easiest. This is going to be due in mid-April, and I want to make sure that you are not struggling in a hurry. All right, now you might take this and trace this a couple times, okay? Because now that we are on big paper, that big old hand doesn't look very big. So we might move that up, and I might need one that's even bigger than my own hand. So what are you going to do, Miss Kay? I'm going to make life easy. I am going to put it in the corner. And then I am going to go way bigger, or at least try to go bigger. All right, go as big as you can. Maybe trace your dad's wrist or trace your mom's wrist. All right, and I'm just trying to get you to space it out. Maybe you'll go back in and maybe you will Google how to draw a fist, and you'll draw these in if you are an amazing drawer. All right, so this one is bigger, so I'll put that one on the bottom, and then this one is smaller. All right, and actually I want you to know, and I'm not proud of this, but the people that were protesting were white. So if you're protesting and they are brown people, then you're fine, but make sure that you get, if they are white, maybe it's a black and white picture, but get some color construction paper from Miss Kay. I got enough, and you can do the same thing, at least to plan it out. Like I said, you know this part is blocked off. All right, I'm even going to save time, I am going to just trace around this. It's not what I'm using, but I am just showing you over here because I know I need a fist, right? And look, my negative space, okay, is a white fist. So maybe that'll work just as is, right? Okay, and then, and maybe it's black against white. I don't know what I am going to do Ruby Bridges, but if you feel civil rights struggle is something else to you, like the other artwork I showed at the beginning here, you could do something on your own. Just remember, do your letters in red. All right, so I think that's enough. Okay, so now we know, and I've got the ruler to make my steps. Okay, and again, if Miss K was trying to win this, this is what I would be doing. All right, okay, so, oh, Miss K, you haven't been on the screen. Maybe I was, I don't know. Okay, so I used construction paper, traced my fist, cut them out, and glued them right here. Not glued, not yet. You want to be able to move these around because you are making a composition. They're puzzle pieces. This is your puzzle. You are the artist. You decide where you want your puzzle pieces, but I'm helping you with the elements of art in order to help you. And the first step is if you don't have a big piece of paper, you're not going to win. Okay, so that's why you've got to get to the art, to get to the school. And again, you can do them in black. I don't have black right here. All right, and let's go ahead and find out about what they want. All right, so, and again, they're putting the art on an easel. Copy, let me show you again. All right, so Mr. Lake wants to win again. He wants you standing there, not the other person. And the artwork is big. I don't think it's posted paper. All right, I want you to get a poster board. But let's take a look and let's find out what size paper they want and all of the details. All right, so I click. And here we go. This is what we are entering. 35th Annual NAACP Detroit Branch Fight for Freedom Fund Dinner Art and Essay Contest. Sounds like you get to eat if you win. Ooh, what the civil rights struggle means to me. Okay, you might want to write that down somewhere. All right, what the civil, spell it right, rights struggle means to me. All right, that's what the theme is. All right. Ooh, look, money, hot dog, get going, rewind and start doing what I'm saying. First place, $500. Second place, $350. Third place, $250. Entry deadline, Wednesday, April 23rd by 6 p.m. Don't worry, I will turn them in. Entry packet. Let's see what the packet says. All right. All right. I am not doing the essay. You get to choose between art or essay. They want your art between, oh, thank God, 16 and 20 or 18 by 24. So actually, friends, this Post-it paper, oh, it's 15 by 18. So I can't use that. I want you to hear me. Don't try to use this smaller paper because it's a couple inches. You're going to lose. All right, because you're not going by, they are very specific with the requirements. All right, they want you to use poster board, which is what Ms. K has here at the school, just as Ms. Rio. Bristol board, heavy paper, oak tag, but no newsprint paper. Only two-dimensional entries will be accepted. That means don't make a sculpture. Only completed artworks will be accepted, so you have to finish. All lettering must be legible, spelled correctly, and appropriate to the theme. You can either do a painting, a drawing, you could do graphic design, so you can cut and paste. That's also what a collage is. So you can use letters to like buy a stencil, letter stencil. If you Google letter stencil in Amazon, you'll be able to spell out your letters all out neatly. Mixed media, digital. Oh, they're saying you can do it in digital, but I'm not quite sure how you can paste it. Oh, look, that's even, okay. So, students may submit an art entry. Okay, an entry form must be attached. So, I will have those forms here at the school. All right, make sure you get the form. Okay, let's read all the information. Participants, all right. Well, last year we were, oh, there it is, Detroit. Deadline, April 23rd. All right. Please discuss participation in this contest with your parent. Make sure they know about it. All right. Research it. Ms. K just sent you those videos in the PowerPoint. If you don't have it, let me know. Students may have conversations with parents, grandparents, and other relatives to develop their entries. To help facilitate these conversations, we have included sample writing. Okay, that's the writing part. Our goal is to broaden the student's perspective of the contributions that Black African American people have made on the continent and in this country. This student does not have to use those individual listed in the writing art prompts. Okay, so what I'm going to show you next, you don't have to use, but Ms. K is trying to help you, and if you're struggling, I'm trying to help you out. A selection of people will pick the winner. The first place essay and art will, okay, so we know about the money. And you'll receive tickets for a fun dinner, okay, F-U-N-D. So next, 6 through 12. Maybe I can't do Ruby. The NAACP is an organization that works to ensure citizens of the United States keep civil rights. Civil rights and social justice are about individuals having the right to receive equal treatment. There was a civil rights movement in the United States that lasted many years till 1968. The civil rights movement was needed because African Americans throughout much of the South were denied the right to vote, were not allowed to enter public facilities, were subjected to insults and violence. Oh, that makes me so mad. And could not expect justice from the courts. So even the courts were corrupt. In the North, Black Americans also faced discrimination in housing, employment, education, like we see with Ruby, and many other areas. During those years, the NAACP supported the Supreme Court, Brown versus Board of Education, which outlawed segregation. That means white people go on one side and black people go on the other side, and that's not right. And they not only helped to integrate, the armed forces kept helping. All right, so samples. I want to make sure this is not talking about essays. All right, you can, if you get so hard and you find that if you are struggling and it's hard and you are finding that you can't do it, maybe you can write about one of these people. Research one of the names and another person who has worked in civil rights. All right, and I don't see Ruby here. All right. And the fight for equal treatment. Entries should not be book reports. Okay, so this is the essay. All right. And then art entries, create an art entry that expresses the theme that shows the aesthetic qualities of the materials in which you select. 2D artworks may be submitted. Adhere to the art guidelines that have been provided. That's what we're looking for. All right. And oh my goodness, friends, I just grade 3 through 5. Okay, so they're all, thank goodness we don't have to. Okay, maintaining and protecting civil rights is slow, painful, and oftentimes violent. All right, but I don't want you to draw something violent, okay, because we have to go by the school rules. So I'm going to print this form out. It asks you for your name, your parents' name, your home address, grade, phone number, mobile phone. You'll write virtual school here. Actually, I'll type it in for you. And me and Mr. Lake. You'll put me for the teacher's name, and there's more than one here. Where are the guidelines? All right, maybe we're going to find those guidelines. Maybe those were the guidelines. All right. So let's look again. Okay, so I'm thinking as I read this, and maybe you can read it too, entries should make a personal connection to the topic. Okay, so it's basically, like I said, with Miss Rios, she thought of Ruby, which I hope you paused and were able to you were able to look at Ruby. All right. So we have to figure out a good title for Ruby Bridges. All right. And the artwork. I think, though, that the best thing should be, and I want you to know, look. Oh, it's not working. If you want to draw this Detroit skyline in the background, just know that you'll be in Canada because the water here, the way it's looking, the Detroit skyline, because the way it looks on this, I suppose you could put that Detroit, hold on, put that Detroit skyline up here. All right, so you could draw the buildings, and then here are the people. And remember, I know I didn't show you this before. I used the negative space to know how to draw the hand here. But before we do any of, well, we want to make the feeling, if you are if you are upset about something, all right, you don't feel at peace like we learn with Coach G and me when we're breathing. All right, we're sort of crowded. So I think we should put the words like right here, and I almost wonder, because they're protesting, if we put up a sign and that sign says what the civil rights mean to me. All right. And so someone, and then the fists, are right here. And I would go back in and put some lines in there. All right. And once you're pretty sure of everything, I know I said don't put these first, but I don't want them to move and then me do something wrong. All right. Now the first, if this is too big for you to do, we might cut the paper down, and in that, if that is what we're going to do, and notice I didn't overlap. Well, yeah, we'll overlap a little bit. All right. And then now I need to measure. Okay. They said 16 by 20. Girl, or boy, this is going to take a while, so we're just going to do 16 by 20. So let's measure 16 by 20. So we got 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20. All right, so we only have to go that far. All right, and 16, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16. Now, if you accidentally make it too big, that's fine. And see, Ms. K, that's all right. All right, so I'm going to line up the bottom of my ruler. I wish you could see me sort of flatter. There, is that better? All right. All right, so I am going to make a line that is straight because I'm lining up the bottom of my ruler. And then I'm heading up and I'm standing up. Please stand up when you're trying to make your ruler lines. And I'm going up to here. See, this is going to help because you guys couldn't even see it up to here. All right, and then the next step is we got to make the right size, because you don't want to do this second because you'll be very sad. Okay, so I glued these down, but I didn't glue the other ones down. Now I am going to cut, and this is really, oh, there. Miss Rios bought us some good paper. Just slowly take your time. Right. Don't leave any hairy edges. Right. And notice I made my line so I can see it. Oh, much better, friends, much better. Okay, now the next step is pick up what you dropped on the floor. Throw out your scraps, or maybe I'll use this for my white paper later. All right, and then get my pans. All right, and you might be like, well, Miss Kay, that's not very balanced. You've got a white one on the right and a black one on the left. Well, if you want to mix them up, that's great, but the whole thing with what do they call it when they separate black people and white people? You guys know. I can think of it, but I'm too busy in my head with my art. So the whole name of the game, unfortunately, it was white against black. Okay, so I am going to just go ahead and put this here so I know I've got that spaced out. I think that would make sense. No, let's do it that way. You can do it either way. I'm just trying to get you to visualize it. All right, so in the foreground, things are bigger. We've got these big old fists. We're right here. We're protesting, okay? And then the middle ground, things are medium size. And so the big men that are, you have to imagine poor little Ruby Bridges. And then in the middle, sort of like those Renaissance pictures of the angels, we're going to make her look angelic up here. All right, like she's the smartest one in the bunch. Okay, because she was. All right, so the next step is we have to write those words. How do you write words? Well, like I said, you can get a stencil. All right, and if you can think of something wonderful to say, all right, you can. Now remember we said we were going to use we're going to make it look like, how the people were protesting, but we want to make sure that people can read our sign, right? Okay, so I'm going to try to make it balanced. All right, so protesters, they hold up signs. Well, remember there's a white hand here. Okay, so now we are going to write, I'm just going to write what, remember Miss Kay said write it down. Now you can think of, just make sure you have a space and make sure you're writing lightly. This is where you're going to be very, 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 very light. Very, very light. Very light. Very light. Very light. I don't know how much I need. All right. Okay. So, what the civil, I can't use 2 lines. I have to use 1 line. So here I go. I wrote it out. And I spelled everything right. All right. And every letter is going to be capital. First letter is going to be capitalized because that is the title of our artwork. Okay. And we're going to color these letters red. Here we go. I'm just going to lightly, I might do it bigger or darker just so you can see. But it's in between the size. Notice I traced the size of the ruler. All right. What? And this is for friends that do not have a stencil. All right. What? The. And you might be going much slower, and that is fine. And then the hands there. So we'll go down here. Civil. C, I, V, sort of leave a little bit of, okay, in this case, spell it right. Civil, maybe I did that on purpose. C-I-V-I-L. Rights, capital R, take up the total space between the lines. Make those big old letters. Writes. Ooh, I got an idea. Means. To. Oh, that should be a capital. All right, me. Now, for the me part, I imagine paint. Okay, so I'm just going to lightly put it there because this is you're expressing yourself. All right, now if you got other ideas and maybe you don't want to do Ruby, this is a good start anyway. All right, and you do need a title. All right, now the next step, I'm bringing you on down here, okay, because you really need to see this. You need to make a little racetrack around each letter, okay? So you're just going to go around each letter. You can make them block, you can make them bubble, all right? But you're going to go like this. And try, you know what, Miss K doesn't want your letters touching. Don't put your letters touching. All right, and then you are going to color them in. What color? What color stands out? Red. Red is the sign of love and passion, and you're pretty passionate if you're out here on the front lines, right? So you want to make sure that you are using red. It also stands for anger. All right, when you do the E, make sure you're going around. And yes, you can just use the inside. All right, so I don't want to keep doing this because it's going to burn all the juice and it's already pretty late. I want to get to the point. But you do want to finish up these letters. All right, like bubble letters. And actually, Miss K's not doing what I just said. Make sure you do both sides, not just one side. All right. And then you're going to color them in red marker and orange marker. So go over with all orange marker first, and then maybe outline with red. And if you don't like it, just go over it red again. They will like it. It's going to give it a different look. Red, orange. Orange means excited. So that's why I want you to get that orange in there first. So color it. Oh, and another thing. See, I really should do this. You have to go erase your little light letters first. Okay. So once you've got that and you've got them colored in red, then you are going to erase these ruler lines because you don't need them anymore, right? And but this last one, this is somebody holding up the sign. And if you want to, you could put your self-portrait right down here, like turning around saying what, and you're holding the sign, that might turn out good if you put your self-portrait right here. And you don't need your whole face. Notice how I cut it off right here. So your eyes will be like right here. And then your nose will be right here. And then you won't even have to do your mouth, your ears, and then you can do your hair. All right. I think that might be really good. And then if you're like, just imagine yourself. If you're like that, you're holding up the sign. So you might trace your thumb here. Or if this is the bottom of it. Maybe we're moving me. And yeah, I think you'll want to move that. Okay, so your little thumb will be right here. And this is you, this is your thumb. So it'll look like this. All right. And then it's coming back to you. And I'm doing this fast because I want to get to the stairs. All right. So I'm going to put you back up here. All right, and now we're thinking about, we're at the bottom of the stairs, and little Ruby Bridges is up the stairs, and we have to leave enough room for Ruby. Okay, so think about Ruby right now, and put like a big frown. All right, that's the top of her head. And maybe she is not, maybe she is, yeah, you don't want to draw at their heads. Let's do it this size. Okay, so here's my hand. My finger, my pinky is about the size of the head. The number one finger is about the size of the body. And then she is going down the steps. I would encourage you to look at her and draw her. Just Google, and we want her looking like sweet. So I will put a picture of her, but I want to make sure that I get it so you understand. And we're not copying Norman Rockwell. We're doing our own thing. All right. And then these are the steps where Ruby is. Now, if you're scared, can't do faces, although you really want to show her as an angel, and maybe all of this around here will be white, so she's glowing. All right. I forgot what I was saying. This is the problem of being an artist with ADD on a recorder. I'm trying to make this fast, but it's just not really possible. All right, what are you doing, Miss Kay? I am measuring. These are bigger than the ruler, just by a little bit, and then a little less. And then about the third one you make is going to be, and don't forget the glow, go around it, and then a little less. All right, and a little less. And let's hope, whoops, and then if you make it, just erase it. Don't leave that crooked line, you'll hate it. All right, a way to do that is just line your ruler up with the side. All right, so then she had those big guys that were protecting her, right? And the doors, we got, okay, Miss Kay has to go back and look at the picture. I should have printed out a picture, and if you can print out the picture, that would be great. Okay, so let me go back. Ruby, here she is sitting on the stair right there. Where did she go? Oh, I hope I don't lose you. All right, so there she is. There's the doors, there's the stairs that I'm talking about. So you can use this picture on slide 22 to help you. And, you know, if you want to be correct, you're going to put those double doors, all right? But do them really light because we got to draw those men. Oh, Miss Kay, we got to draw men? No, we're going to just, I'm going to block them. I'm going to show you how to block them out. So the doors, there's the bottom of the doors. So they're all white. All right, there's two doors, but really she's right in the middle. So here's one door, here's the other door. There was the cross in the door. All right, they pay attention to detail. If these people know what you're talking about, you really could win. All right, so there is a little cross. All right, notice I'm staying away from her because I want her looking angelic. Maybe you'll draw this picture of her. If you're good with faces, you'll put her face right there. All right, and then draw her little outfit, and she's wearing a dress. All right, and again, you can watch that how to draw, and just make sure you go down to the middle, put your finger down here, and then you just want to the right, her right leg. And actually, if you're terrible with drawing, you could hide her feet, although I wouldn't hide her feet. All right, so I'm just showing you, you're going to have, and maybe you'll just cut it out with the construction paper like Jacob. All right, there is a policeman inside, so I don't know the, tie, badge, all right, and maybe, you know what, no, I made that wrong, because this is just showing the bottom of the cop's feet. And you know what? We can't do that because we have 4 people helping her. So what is right by her head? We see, you know what? It is like, it's at this angle, but it is Norman Rockwell's artwork, which I don't think I put. Oh, I did. Oh, but it's not there. But do you see how there's just that little piece of people right beside her? All right. And I'm just going to use brown because it's out and I'm short on time, but you're going to make a suit out of the construction paper. And notice the eye level of her is their arms, okay? Eye level of her is their arms. All right, so what do they look like? They look like a rectangle. All right, now look at how big she is. She's pretty big on our paper. And then look at, they're wearing suits, so I did an upside pizza slice. And then they're wearing, you got to put your arms on. So here's the arms. All right, and you guys, I'm trying to do this as fast as I can in almost a Jacob Lawrence style, and maybe their legs are going down the steps. All right, and we might not be able to, maybe we'll trace this and we'll find that we like to do it so that we can, and I don't think you'll have a head because this guy is bigger. All right, so let's just take a look, and I'm just showing you the mass, the size of him. I want you to do it in black and white. All right, and again, these people are huge. So maybe one will be right here to represent, oh, I'm not showing you. There'll be one, let me get back here to me. Okay, so I cut out like the shape of a person that is bigger than her, all right, but really she's tiny. So these, that's not gonna work. So see all this problem solving? All right, I've got her as too big. All right, but if you already drew her out and she's amazing, you're just going to make these guys look just huge. Okay, so maybe you could even go, all right, and they might fall off the page. All right, so here is, and then you're going to erase anything where your person is. All right. And so we just have this massive figure that is protecting this little child, and then we have the protesters down here. Although you probably are, well, yeah. No, you wouldn't be down here protesting, actually. And then I'm going to flip this. So maybe we need to rethink this. But hopefully, I'm going to send this video out, maybe through me and talking to you, you come up with another idea, all right? And maybe you have something else going on, another protest that you could think of, all right? And so whatever you do, whatever you decide, I will help you every step of the way. This is going to be a Schoology assignment. All right, and she is being protected by these guys. They are white. I'm just going to go ahead and make the simple shape. You know, they were wearing ties. All right, tie, diamond. All right, and then, and maybe yeah, I like that. All right, and maybe you can't even see what the exact leg shapes are because there's just, and maybe you can trace your hand like this to maybe cover up maybe part, like if you're messed up with it, like don't know what the person's doing. Okay, all right, so I hope that this helps you. I'm going to focus in, if you it what a civil rights struggle is, it unfortunately a lot of times is the colors arguing. So this does show that, and you can show yourself fighting in the middle, and then, you know, I don't know if you, maybe you'll just make these black shapes or black outfits. I don't know if you want to do those peach. I would think you would want to draw Ruby just like it is and just make her angelic. I would use colored pencils at first, and then as you go, or maybe you'll go back and use construction paper to fill in these spots. Like maybe if you had the person, you can make them black construction paper. All right, I want to stop there because, you know, if everybody does exactly what I'm doing, then you know, we all could have the same exact thing. So again, let me just stop right there and say the rubric is going to be at the end. What's a rubric, Miss Kay? A rubric is when you are checking yourself to make sure everything is turned in. And where did my rubric go? I can't find the rubric. Okay, so Miss Kay is going to try to remember from her head. Is your first, last name, grade on the back of the paper. Okay, if you decide and change and flip sides, make sure you put it on the new back, write it lightly. All right, another thing, red, orange letters, marker if you've got it. All right, Crayola is fine. Actually, the best is colored pencil press hard with the red orange crayon, colored pencil, and then you don't have to switch. All right, then you want to make sure that your composition is right and balanced, like we did with the fists. All right, balanced, because chances are you're going to show something like that. Your most important is in center. All right, think about the elements and principles. So go over and just think about, I try to make sure I have one of every color unless I'm just making a black and white artwork, which this does seem to be a black, to me, a black and white issue. It's like, duh, this is such a stupid thing. Of course, let the little child in so she can learn. All right. And last, let's see, make sure the paper is 16 by 20. All right. You can use any supplies. Come get them from Miss K. All right. And then make sure you're, like I said, you're going to you shade those stairs. You're going to color in your protest sign. You've got one protest sign here. It seems crowded. All right. You're going to shade, like I said, you're going to shade the steps. All right. And hopefully I've given you enough good ideas that you can take off on this. Make sure your letters are readable, like it says in the directions. Read over the directions before you submit this. All right, friends, I have talked way too much. Thank you so much. I wish you good luck. And if you need anything, like Miss K, I really need help with, and then I'll send you a video on how to draw, or I'll send you another video on how to do something more perfect. But I just want to get off here. All right. Love you guys. See you later. Good luck. Thank you. And also, you need the form. Okay. So check out slide 33 before you bring this in. Bring in form filled out. Miss K, I used my own supplies. I never got a form. Okay, get it from Miss Rios or get it from Miss K. Don't leave the school. And then drop your artwork off with me like this. All right, and I will turn it in when it is completely colored in. All right, I've given you what it takes to win. Good luck. Love you. Bye-bye.